Welcome back to Frontline Insights. I'm Bill Brandt, and we are here live at IT Nation 2011 in Orlando. I'm here with David Hughes, the President and CEO of Reflexion Networks. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I just left your booth area, and you guys had a lot of buzz, a lot of partners coming around. So sounds like off to a great start. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why you guys are here out at IT Nation and how things are going so far?
Well, this is a terrific conference, and I want to first really extend my compliments to the people of ConnectWise. They do a great job with this, and the things that they do for the community overall are terrific. So we're here for a couple of reasons. We see ourselves as a contributing citizen in IT Nation. We probably have between 200 to 300 of our existing partners here at the conference.
Oh, that's great. So
it's always a treat to see our partners face to face and continue to build those relationships. The relationships are so important. So it's really valuable.
As Daniel Burris told us this morning, it's all about relationships.
Exactly. So that in and of itself is great. And then we have the opportunity to meet a lot of new prospective partners.
Absolutely.
The interaction that I really get excited about, though, is many of our existing partners will come by our booth, talk with us, and then as prospective partners come by, our existing partners are our best salespeople. Mm-hmm. The things that they can say to a prospective partner are a lot more important than the things that I can say to them. So it's great to see that dynamic.
Yeah, really helps build credibility. And for our audience who might not be aware of what Reflexion does, it might be helpful to tell us a little bit about what you do and maybe even what's going on in the industry at a high level that makes your solutions and offerings so relevant today.
Well, so we offer a family of hosted email security and compliance services. So hosted email security, hosted email archiving and e-discovery, and hosted email encryption, all of which are built upon a unifying management framework for solution providers. So we only sell through the channel, and everything that we do in the company is really the design center for everything that we do is the solution provider, whether it's product features and functions, business practices, company culture. We're channel exclusive, and we try to be as channel friendly as possible. We're getting great uptake on the combination of all three of our services, which we talk about as the Reflexion Compliance Suite. And at a high level, one of the things that we see, one of the big trends, again, that Daniel Burris talked about this morning, is the growing regulatory influence on business. So the combination of the three products will help our solution providers help their clients implement things that are required by whether you're a HIPAA and high tech in the medical field, or SOX and GLB and financial services, or state level data breach notification legislation. 46 states, the District of Columbia, all have data breach notification laws now. And so everyone wants to avoid having to make the mandatory disclosure that information has leaked, and so the encryption solution is important there. So that's one of the trends that we see at a high level. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a tremendous opportunity here for solution providers, where they have historically played the role of trusted IT advisor. There's an opportunity for them to learn more about these regulatory requirements and provide that kind of advice. So it's sort of the trusted compliance advisor as well. And I think there are immense opportunities for solution providers in that regard.
And the cloud, of course, too, right? There's a great tie-in to a lot of what I've been learning about your company over time as a great kind of cloud play, an easy way for partners to start kind of crawl, walk, run in terms of providing some services. Why don't you talk to that a little bit?
Well, you're exactly right. Many solution providers want to make the switch from the traditional break-fix kind of business to the managed services to begin to develop the more predictable recurring revenue stream. And we make it really easy for them to do that without any investment. hardware or software. It's easy to get set up in our system. Once a solution provider is set up, they are able to set up their clients and users on demand. We don't have to be involved in that process. Of course, we're happy to help if need be, but it's really an on-demand kind of a solution. We try to take out all of the complexity that would otherwise exist if you had to deploy each of these applications separately. Everything plays together nicely. You don't have to implement all the services. They're easy to implement individually, but the common management framework, the unified diagnostic tools, the customer configuration scanning that we offer now are all things that help with the process. Additionally, we integrate with remote monitoring and management and professional services automation tools. So obviously ConnectWise is an important integration point for us, but also on the RMM side as well. So we try to give partners services that will fit naturally into their environment and enable them to begin to develop the monthly recurring revenue stream.
And you mentioned the partners, of course. They're critical, I know, to your go-to-market strategy and a lot of what you do. Maybe you can tell the audience a bit, where the channel fits in with, again, your go-to-market strategy.
Well, it's really simple for us because we only sell through the channel. We don't sell directly, and we won't sell directly. And so without the channel, there's no reflection. We feel very strongly about this, and as an entrepreneurial company, people in the company wear multiple hats. Our VP of Sales fills the role of product manager for us because there's no one in the company who understands the needs of our partners better than he does. And this really helps to create a very high degree of alignment in the company in terms of what we do from a product point of view, from a support point of view, and from a supporting business practices point of view. So the channel is everything to us. We love our partners. We have a great network of loyal partners. And as I mentioned at a conference like this, they're our best salespeople, frankly.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned earlier the opportunity for partners to look at your services as a way to get into the cloud. You also mentioned how they can start to look into addressing some of the regulatory concerns. But what are some of the other opportunities, or where does the rubber meet the road where the partners would want to work with you and bring make the investment of Reflection's capabilities in-house?
Well, there are still in the small and mid-sized business space, there are still greenfield opportunities. So untapped opportunities to bring these solutions to the market and to a market that's increasingly aware of the importance of these solutions, whether it's being driven by compliance or just general business efficiency. So there are opportunities there. We also find partners will come to us when they experience, let's say, channel conflict issues with another vendor. They know that when they come to us, channel conflict is not going to be an issue because everything is through the channel. And I would say those are the principal reasons why. It's the general move to cloud-based services. People want to get on that wave. It's a hard trend, as Daniel Burris was talking about this morning. It's not going away. Ultimately, everything, in my view, will have at least a cloud-based component. So it'll be at least a hybrid kind of cloud solution. And many things will be exclusively cloud. There was an analyst at Gartner who had a nice way of putting it. I don't remember his name, but he talked about the world shifting from the acquisition of assets to the acquisition of access. And that's that. I like that. Yeah, it captures sort of the essence very well, I think. And so it's a market wave that all partners, all solution providers will want to get on board with. And I think the solution provider MSP kind of line is going to blur as everyone moves into the MSP space.
With that said, you started to talk about some direction. just to expand on that a little bit more, what are some of your best partners doing? How are they taking advantage of your working relationship from a sales, marketing, operational perspective? What makes the better ones, best in class, if you will?
Yeah. Well, the ones who are best in class really understand the driving motivation behind the cloud. Easy access to services that don't need to be maintained because that's done centrally. The opportunity to shift whatever internal IT resources exist to other topics of more strategic value, and the shift of some expenses from capital expenses to operating expenses. In fact, you all have written about this as some of the big drivers. So the best-in-class partners understand those drivers and can communicate the rationale, the value proposition effectively. Next, I think they're also they've moved on now to the compliance kind of the focus, which is adding a higher level of value for their clients. So they can go in and help their clients reduce the risk that they'll experience a data breach. Now, this raises the question of what does compliance really mean? And all of the legislation makes it clear that there are three elements in compliance. There's the technology dimension, no question about it, but there's also the people dimension and the process dimension. So technology in and of itself is not adequate. It's training people to be aware of situations and aware of the technology that's available, and then making sure that people have the internal procedures and processes in place to operate in a compliant fashion. And I think there are great opportunities for solution providers in that regard too, with regard to the training of the human piece and the process piece, as well as the technology piece. So I think those are some of the things that the best-in-class partners do.
That's great.
And that's on top of all of the other things that a solution provider needs to do in terms of course, their technical competence. You always want to make sure that the customer's smarter after talking with you than they were beforehand, and providing excellent support.
Well, there's no doubt that being a solution provider today is no easy task. There's a lot for them to do, and definitely the time that you've spent here, you've offered several pearls of wisdom and some good takeaways. So I appreciate your time on the show and look forward to more great things out of Reflection.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. Thanks, David.
You're welcome.